Hello everyone, I am Vanillabean and this is something new I've decided to do. An experiment really. It involves a discussion about Kill la Kill, including some of its misconceptions, to those who have not seen it, plan to see it, have seen it, or have even given up on it. All while playing footage of me playing interesting games in the background. I'll avoid spoilers unless I say so, in which I will throw up spoiler warnings and annotations, so it should be non-issue. Now, before I bother you with any further introduction, if you'd just like to hear my thoughts on Kill la Kill, then you can click the annotation I left somewhere on this video and it'll skip ahead to that main course. Now then, I love giving out my opinions on a lot of things, usually games and anime, and I usually give them out on Facebook to all my friends. And when I give them, I always feel like I don't say enough. Most people I know don't want to read an essay on Facebook, no matter how passionate or well written. And I totally understand that, as someone who doesn't like to read a lot. So I figured, why not just simply make a recording or a video? I've grown fond of Adobe Audition and Premiere Pro and I want to keep using them, or they'll collect digital dust. But since I am not fond of showing my face on camera, for the time being, I also figured why not also throw some gameplay footage on the background. Now you can listen to me ramble on about my opinions while watching me play video games. So yeah, if this is the sort of thing you might be interested in, then stick around. I've no idea if I'll keep doing this. It's an experiment after all, but I'd love to. I should mention that the game in the background is Bleed, which also features a female lead character, just like the anime. Well, I would have put Metal Gear Rising in the background if I had it. That might have been a better fit. But this will suffice. Bleed is an indie action platformer, developed by Bootdisk Revolution. You can get the game over on Xbox Live or on other digital distribution platforms, such as Steam, Gamersgate, the like. It's $5, cheap and totally worth it. And now to the main subject, Kill la Kill. It's an anime made by the new-ish studio Trigger. They are founded by former Gainax employees who had worked as directors, scriptwriters, and key animators for past projects such as Fulikuli, Gurren Lagann, Neon Genesis Evangelion, and Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt. Trigger also made a noteworthy short film called Little Witch Academia. That is already a pretty impressive pedigree for a new studio. And judging from this list, you can already expect a degree of ridiculousness. And you would expect right, it is delightfully ridiculous. The anime is about a high school transfer student. Wait, I can already hear the groaning. I don't blame you. A transfer student named Ryuko Matoi, who wields a scissor blade, who comes to a dreary town to find out who killed her father. She is led to the town's Hanoji Academy, a place that is under tyrannical rule, not by its school staff, but by its student council president, Satsuki Hiryuin. Did I pronounce that right? Well, whatever. Here the weak suffer and the strong survive, by wearing awesome uniforms that grant them superpowers and high society benefits. So why would they disrupt the status quo? Well, at any rate, this is where Ryuko begins her journey of vengeance and her coming of age. From here on, the story continues to blow out of proportion, putting the viewer on a roller coaster that seems to get more and more ridiculous, as loop-de-loops, curves, and swerves are thrown into the mix, going above and beyond just vengeance. Now, some would say the plot is very simplistic, that it's filled with tropes and cliches, and they're not exactly wrong. But the show takes those tropes and cliches, cranks them up past 100, and gives a nice spin on them. Same goes for the plot. As a viewer, you might make all these assumptions and have all these expectations, but the show does a great job at eating those expectations, chewing them up, and spitting out something refreshing and exciting. What I'm saying is, it's all done in great execution. The animation. Oh, there's a lot of high energy here. Some franticness to it. Although a bit unfortunate, the quality of the animation does fall in some areas, even towards the end. But it's that high energy, franticness, and its whimsical style that more than make up for it. And I can hardly fault Trigger for it anyway. They had to work with a small budget, supposedly. But even so, what they did with that small budget was amazing. The art style is, of course, very reminiscent of Trigger's Head's previous works. And like the animation, its art has style, in your face, attitude, and at times really silly. I mean, really silly. You have characters projecting themselves in such a manner that it could be seen as breaking the fourth wall. Oh, and the soundtrack. Fantastic. Same composer that worked on music from anime such as Attack on Titan and Blue Exorcist. You can expect a variety of great music there. The most memorable is probably Before My Body Is Dry. I expect there will be a lot of music video mashups with that song. It's pretty blood pumping and fist pumping. You know, I could have chosen better words. But we'll go with that. You know, pumping your fist in the air. Now, from here, there will be some very minor spoilers. Don't mind as long as it doesn't spoil anything really significant. Good. No? Well, I'll throw up an annotation and you can click it to skip all that and straight to the conclusion. Now, about the characters. Kill la Kill has a lot of them, and nearly all of them are memorable. In addition to the kick-ass and take-no-names Ryuko and the composed and dignified authorita, Satsuki, we also have Ryuko's sentient and powerful uniform, Senketsu. We have the ever-so-bubbly and intensely energetic Mako. We have the presumptuous and proud nudist, now famous for his glowing nipples, Aikuro Mikisugi. We have Satsuki's guard, the Elite Four, each with their own weird, funny quirks. And, there is so much more. The supporting characters get a lot of care and attention, and they each feel unique. Ryuko probably has the most care, as she is the main protagonist, and she is one of the small few female leads that don't fall into certain typical character archetypes. She's cute, she's strong, but she also has flaws that make her interesting. Now, this sort of nicely leads into a misconception a lot of people have with the anime. This in particular. And it's something seen only on the surface, by only watching some episodes or just a trailer. A strong and interesting character like Ryuko dons her very own powerful uniform Senketsu, transforms like a magical girl, and becomes half naked. Or more than half naked. I don't know. And she's not alone. Other female and male characters get similar treatments later down the line. Hell, it all takes a dive into nudity at some point. Fanservice is nothing new to anime. The main problems I see some people have here are the overt sexualization with the strong and interesting characters. Now, I love fanservice as much as the next guy, as long as it knows not to overstep its boundaries and not become just generic puerile garbage. I believe it has its place in Kill la Kill, more so than a lot of other anime. In fact, they made fanservice integral to the plot. I won't go into specifics so as to not give major spoilers out, but there are a couple of plot reasons Trigger managed to convincingly make. I also found something worth noting. Rummaging through the internet and seeing the opinions of others have enlightened me. Along with others, I've found out there are underlying themes about coming into maturity, particularly a girl coming into maturity. Comes back to the coming of age bit, right? Well, a lot of anime of the shonen genre tend to be that, coming of age stories. Only this time it's a female lead character, so she faces the problems dealing with her coming of age. Anyways, let's bring something else that's also noteworthy. A couple of things that happen. Nothing too spoilery, don't worry. Ryuko dons the outrageous uniform for the first time and feels embarrassment, shame, as she is ogled at. Everyone's ogling at her. That doesn't seem like an experience she is familiar with, nor is she fond of. A lot of women might even equate that as similar experiences through puberty. Well, later, at some point, Ryuko will learn an important lesson from someone. I quote, "The fact that you are embarrassed by the values of the masses only proves how small you are." In tandem with the uniforms becoming sexy, the strong female characters are empowered by them. By that I mean getting super strength and cool abilities. Ryuko eventually grows past that shame, accepts herself and the changes she went through, and becomes empowered by them. Well, there's a very good diagram I found. I wish I knew who made it so I could credit them, but in the meantime I'll put a link in the description of below this video. It explains it all much more eloquently than I ever could. I highly recommend taking a look at it. It's really nice. So, the cool thing is, you can interpret all this as one big metaphor that women can appreciate. That anyone can appreciate, really. But if this explanation doesn't suffice, and neither does the plot's explanations, and after seeing so many shirtless guys and glowing man-ups, then I guess you could always boil it all down to mindless fun. I think that's fine. This show is designed in such a way as it could be interpreted in several ways. I recall someone saying that they've interpreted the uniform transformation sequences as becoming one, giving your whole self. Makes sense given the certain context, which I won't give because of potential spoilers. But yeah, that's art. So in conclusion, the anime is amazing. Simple plot, but it doesn't need to be complex. It works very well with its fun art style, its whimsical yet crazy animation style. The music's great. It's an anime that will have you cheering on the main protagonist and other characters. High rewatch value. I personally expect to see this anime from start to finish again, and again, and again. I think you get the point. It's crazy, insane, nonsensical. It's kind of their thing. Do you even like anime? Then you owe it to yourself to at least try Kill la Kill. Or to some of you, give it another shot. Be a bit more open-minded. You might thank yourself for doing that. You can check out Kill la Kill at crunchyroll.com. High quality, crisp, clear subtitles. No, I am not being paid by Crunchyroll to promote them. If only. I really do like the site though. My favorite when it comes to watching anime. I am Vanillabean, and I hope to do more of this whatever I just did. See ya!
Don't lose your way.